I'm not sure you can see it, but you see the tension starting on the top. It's getting really hot, and this may crack. It may be too thick. I did an inch pour instead of a 1/4 inch pour on this, and yeah, everybody knows it says that it should be a 1/4 inch, so we'll see. Cross your fingers. So it usually takes about 4 hours for this to harden up. It's been about 15 minutes. That's what happens when it gets so hot. And then you can see up against the burls, it did not get all up in there, so it's kind of contracting from there, but that's okay. We'll fill that in on the next one. You see where it's pulling away from the sides there. That is not uncommon when you're doing these types of pours. And it is still extremely hot. Let me show you how hot it is. $171, it got up to about 250. It's been sitting there for about 30 or 40 minutes. Still could crack, I'm hoping not. Once we get done with this, we'll sand, and then we will do another pour. Maybe not as deep this time. All right, here's one side, right there. I like this one the best. Then the other side, some swirl stuff going on there. Which side do you like best? All right, I hit the bed here. I measured 3 times and I still measured this wrong. I put the X right there when I meant to cross it right there. So it cut outside. So I've talked to the customer. I'm going to move it over to the middle. And how am I gonna fix this? We're going to make a band on the outside the same color as this is with the resin. So then we'll come back and cut this whole thing out, flip it over and do the back. That actually came out exactly how I wanted it. See, these can fill in because I'm just going to cut around this, and yeah, I guess I could have made it a little bit bigger, but that's okay. This is gonna be a good size clock. I think it's 11.5 inches. So now we need to fill this to look similar to this. Now it'll be a little bit different, but that's part of the clock. All right, let's get going on that. Now that we got the other side done, I need to cut in a hole for the clock mechanism. The entire piece is 28.20 millimeters thick. So I'm going to go down 18 millimeters, which will give me enough room for the stem of the clock to stick out enough to get a bolt onto it. Fits perfectly. So now we're going to flip this around. We're going to start sanding this thing, get it all sanded up, and then we can do the back and the resin. I may have to fill this right there though. The clock is done, so let's go ahead, before we show you the clock, let's talk about the cost and the time involved in making this thing. All right, well, let's talk about cost real quick. Okay, this is what I spent on the burl right here. This is what I spent on the resin. And it's not just the resin and the burl. When you're making this, you have a lot of extra sandpaper finish and all that. So this is what I spent on the finish. This is the grand total for all of that for this clock. Now, I do free shipping, so let's add the shipping over here. And here is the new grand total, but I did this on commission, so I quoted this as this right here. That's how much I quoted it on, $230. Let's take away this with this. And it leaves you a grand total of that. Now I'm going to take all that away real quick. Let's talk about time. This thing took a lot of time to get done. There was design work in making the clock. I had to redo the mechanism for this, and I had to do a lot of stuff, set it up on the CNC, and it took me a grand total of 17 hours and 16 minutes to get this thing done. Now, if you take that 17 hours and 16 minutes away from how much my profit was, you get a grand total of, let me get my paper out here, 38 cents an hour is what I made on this clock. I don't think I'll be doing any more of these clocks. They're just not worth my time and effort to get done. I made nothing off of this thing. $6.38 is not enough to make up for that. The customer's already purchased this one. This is the one that I was originally supposed to make when I messed up the last clock I did. He didn't like that one, so I did this one. I'm starting to think this thing came out a little bit better. I had a couple of issues with my CNC, and I'll have to fix that, but here is the finished clock right there. However, he decides to orientate it, and here's the back of it. This thing came out freaking nice. I did have to do 2 coats for the top of it here to get that glass coat. I had some pin things. This maple burl has a lot of inclusions in there, and when you're putting resin in there, those little bubbles will seep out. I did seal this one first, then sand it down a little bit, but it just didn't quite work to get in all those little crevices and stuff like that. These things are a lot of work. I don't think I'm going to commission any more of these. So I'll stay with this one and the red one and with the walnut that I got over here. I had a little bit of issue with my CNC, as I'm going to show you right here. The circles right there they're not really great circles right there and right there. I'm not really sure why that happened, but it did. Might just need to slow the CNC down a little bit. It's okay, it's not even noticeable. You probably wouldn't even notice it unless I told you that. But there are a couple of them that are not round, maybe a little bit oval. But otherwise, the separation in this thing was just fantastic. I just keep having to show it to you. Look at that thing. Those are flames, blue and gold flames. Hey, little side note, blue and gold is the color of my high school. Over in Germany, I went to a DoD school called General H.H. Arnold High School. It's now called Wiesbaden High School. But yeah, so that was kind of neat to be able to do the colors there. Well, again, I'd like to thank you guys for watching my videos, subscribing to the channel, doing everything you do. It's been a fun ride these past, oh goodness, 10 years now. I just want to tell you thank you. All right, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'm not going to ask you to share the video. I'm not going to ask you to hit the thumbs up button. You do whatever you want. If you want to leave a comment, you leave a comment. You want to hit subscribe. If you don't, that's fine too. I just appreciate you watching my video. All right, until next video, stay cool.